sweet dear magical friends. Welcome to this week ahead. We're going to start with Monday, August the 29th. I'm calling Smart Win-Win. We have the moon entering the sign of Libra and at the same time going to be conjuncting Mercury in Libra. Together they will trine over to Mars in Gemini, and they will oppose Jupiter retrograde in the sign of Aries. So Monday is going to be a great day for accomplishing a lot in your personal relationships. I want you to pay attention to how you're feeling on Monday, because this is going to have its own little mini sequel on Friday, September the 2nd. That's because Mercury is going to oppose Jupiter on Friday, and so I feel like with Moon, Libra, kind of, going to be conjuncting Mercury, and it's just going to give you a little bit of a heads up of what this could be about, or what could be maybe even coming together or solidifying Friday or around the weekend. So it's a perfect day to create a win-win situation, especially in the relationships. I would use this day to apply any kind of social strategy if you want to repair a relationship, or if you want to get something going or you want to start a relationship, or maybe build out a project within a relationship. But this can also be really great for just goodwill and good feeling and camaraderie and a sense of togetherness. So yes, you can create a wonderful win-win situation, but what I mean when I say win-win, yes, it's mutual benefit. Emphasize on the mutual benefit, but there's also this concept of equal sacrifice. So how does Libra attain such wonderful relationships with every single person or type of person? Or how does Libra even negotiate? How does Libra do it all, basically? How they are so great. They're the greatest generals, for instance. Like, they're great with battle plans and strategies and being generals of armies, first of all. But like, how do you do that? You have to focus on the mutual benefit, but then you also have to focus on equal compromise, equal sacrifice. No one's going to say yes to a deal where they feel like one person is getting more, or if they feel like they're going to be sacrificing more and the other person's getting a better part of the deal and they don't have to sacrifice as much. That's how you do it. So everyone has to feel like they are sacrificing the right amount, or that they are sacrificing in equal measure with everyone else, and that everyone is mutually benefiting from whatever is going on, or for whatever you're doing, whatever's happening. So at least on Monday, I would say touch base, make the contact, and just at least to make that initial connection, or whatever you can do to sort of encourage understanding, mutual understanding, but also mutual cooperation. So how do you do that? Getting everyone to work together, it's like herding cats. So Libra is going to be the expert at that. Libra is going to be the one that knows how to get all of the cats in the room and get everyone on the same page. So like that for Monday. Tuesday, August the 30th. Oops, yeah, that was on Sunday, sorry. So now we're on Tuesday, August the 30th. Okay, so here, hopefully you guys can see this. There's already glitchiness happening, so hopefully this is okay for you guys. Try to keep my hand out of it. Okay, so Tuesday, August the 30th, I'm calling this day Tribe Accomplishments. Now we have Moon in Libra trining over to Saturn retrograding in the sign of Aquarius, and then sextiling Venus in Leo. So this is another great day for connecting with your people, connecting with your tribe, and maybe even celebrating some kind of accomplishment that you guys are working on together. You've all been sort of, rowing together, like in the same vibe, and there could be some nice solidification of the relationships for having. It's like when you take on something with another person, you're in it together. You're both fighting the same fight. You're both advocating for the same. You both want the same results. You want the same accomplishments. You're on the same team. I remember talking to my guy friends, and they'd be telling me about their marriages or their girlfriends and their relationship, and I can tell by how they're talking to me kind of like what they need to hear. So I would be there to say, you guys are on the same team. They're not, you're not their enemy. They're not your enemy. They're not trying to cause you harm, just like you're not trying to cause this other person harm. You guys are on the same team. Teammates. You know, so it's like maybe you have like the common or the same, you know, outside enemy, and maybe sometimes that, or an obstacle, sometimes that obstacle is like, sure, it's easy to make it like a person and to put all the blame and project it onto a person, but it's probably not. It's probably just something in the relationship or something in the, you know, one or both of the individuals within that relationship, sort of maybe the projection going on back and forth. Either way, you benefit from changing your perspective and saying, okay, we're on the same team. I'm frustrated, you're frustrated, everybody's frustrated, but we're on the same team, you know? So I like Tuesday for feeling that, feeling like you are on the same team. You know, your group or your family or your partnership could have reason to celebrate because conditions are changing, you know, celebrating as conditions change. You know, maybe there's new people at work and they're sort of easily coming into the fold of the workplace dynamic, or maybe you're working on a relationship. It could be a spousal relationship, but it could also be, you know, a family friendship that you're working on, the team project, or some kind of milestone for you know, the group dynamic or the whatever you're doing. There could be some kind of, you know, the accomplishment can also be something very internal. So you might really reconnect with your feeling of camaraderie, or that you are on the same team, or, you know, there's trust here. You could be building trust with someone, and it's all, honestly, Monday, Tuesday, it's really, really great. It's like, because the conditions are changing and evolving in a way that is promoting harmony and promoting togetherness and promoting like this stickiness. You need Saturn in relationships, positive Saturn contact. You know, even any Saturn contacts will be, you know, it can depend, depending, you know, but you do need Saturn to have the glue. Saturn's the glue. Saturn can kind of crumble under its own weight though. So, you know, only in certain contexts will Saturn be too heavy to bear, and then you just like, you fall apart under the weight of it, you know. So it's like, it depends on what happens to be, but you know, usually you want Saturn contacts in a synastry, but then I do synastry for my people in my private practice, so that's all in the description box. But you know, Tuesday's really great because conditions are aligning up with what makes you feel secure, what makes you have faith in something, that something is actually, you know, like this is a relationship that can go the distance, or that this is a new hire, that you're onboarding a team member, or you're, you know, it's like, okay, this is workable, this is going to work, this is going to be great, this is going to be good. So I like Monday, Tuesday, very nice. Now, as we get into Wednesday, August the 31st, we will have the moon entering the sign of Scorpio. Whew. I think that's like the only thing that happens on Wednesday. And when that happens, when the moon enters the sign of Scorpio, it's like, I'm calling it premonitions. I always talk about how the moon, how the world and everything just turns so black and white with the moon in Scorpio. So, you know, conditions are going to fluctuate, and they're going to tip off your spidey senses. So you're going to be like picking up, you know, your own, in your field, you're going to be like just feeling things. You're just going to be more sensitive when the moon's in Scorpio, and because the nodes are there, it's going to be even more sharp of maybe what you've got to let go of, or what is coming up for you to exorcise or alchemize, you know. So I'm calling it premonitions because conditions are fluctuating and tipping off your spidey senses, but you don't know the what quite yet. You might not, you might feel on Wednesday that something is like in the air, or that something's maybe amiss or awry or something, but you might not know exactly like what it is. So just pay attention to what your spidey senses are telling you. Pay attention to, you know, if there's if there's anything at all, anything at all, just pay attention to what you're feeling, and you're only gonna have to wait a day for it to really kind of reveal itself to you. Taking us into Thursday, September the 1st. Welcome to September. Now on Thursday, I'm calling it hostile takeover because that moon in Scorpio is going to cross the south node, which means they will be also opposing Uranus retrograding in the sign of Taurus. So this could feel like something's being ripped away from you that you were not prepared mentally or emotionally to let go of. It could feel aggressive. It could feel like a hostile takeover. And, here's what I'm going to say. It's going to feel like you weren't ready to let it go, and you weren't ready to change, and you weren't ready to see something from a different perspective. All of that stuff. Take it. Just gulp it down. Accept the changes, accept anything. You just go with the flow and really marshal your energies together to have that attitude. And it's not gonna be like you lose an item or something. Most likely not. It's really probably gonna be, a pang of jealousy or some fear or some guilt, or, it's gonna be something emotional inside of yourself that's gonna come up, that it's time to let it go, time to give it up, time to mature, time to grow up, time to take responsibility, time to free yourself, it's going to be something like that. And don't focus on whatever you think is making you feel that way. Don't focus on other people or the situation or whatever. Just try to take as much responsibility as possible and own your own feelings, don't blame other people, or and I'm saying this because I love you and I'm trying to help you through all of this, because it's going to be so much worse in the fall. This is just a little yeah. Okay, so you feel like you're not ready to let the shocks shock you into a new perspective. If you can do that this week, around Thursday, you're gonna do fall way better. This is just a little. This is not even. This is not gonna last long. It's gonna be the day, Thursday. But just see what comes up. Also, though, Mars in Gemini is sextiling over to Jupiter retrograding in the sign of Aries. This is interesting. So this is an opportunity to think differently about someone that you've already cast a judgment about, or to reconnect with a student or a friend or a mentor. So that Mars in Gemini is so people focused. It's mental, it's more your perspective. It's a little bit of the judgment connected with Jupiter retrograding in Aries. So, it's helpful energy if you take it. If you're leaning into it, you can use it, but it's a sextile, so it's just an opportunity. That energy is there for you to use or abuse. And on the same day that the moon is going to cross the north node and oppose Uranus and Taurus, just says that you have help. You have some help in adjusting to, whatever's flushing out of your life, whatever's happening, whatever is trying to, think back to the beginning of August the 1st, when we had the Mars and Uranus and the North Node all in Taurus. That Taurus area of life, you're really trying to liberate. You're really trying to just be more of who you are and just enjoy what you enjoy and just be happy and just have some fucking fun and not be so uptight and not be so controlling, and not just controlling, but being controlled by something. So you're that Scorpio area is, think about this last May, think about, the end of May, think about the end of April, so, it's going to be sort of like a shock to the system. It's going to be a little bit of a jolt, but, it's really what you want. Whatever, disruptions to the status quo that you're experiencing in your life, it's an unconscious desire. It's an unconscious manifestation of you wanting it on some level. So I feel like people are going to be, bitching and moaning about all kinds of things. And the one thing they're not going to be looking at is themselves, owning their side of the street, changing their perspective, evolving beyond what they're comfortable in. So whatever comes up Thursday, look at yourself, look at your feelings, you're the awareness behind the awareness. How much fun was that, you guys, when we live streamed Mercury retrograde? That was so much fun. That was like, it was weird for me. It felt like I was talking with like an old friend, like you guys here on YouTube, and then it's like we had like a new dude or a new girl like in the conversation. So I was like updating, updating the new over here, like just getting everyone on the same page. That was really fun. Anyway, so yeah, Thursday hostile takeover, but that Mars sextile to Jupiter is kind of interesting because again, Jupiter in Aries, Jupiter retrograde, you want to be a mentor and you also want to be a student. Try to find a way to be both at the same time while Jupiter is in Aries. And that area is going to be really big in a couple of years. But anyway, so yeah, there's an opportunity to grow through teaching, to grow through learning, to grow through the open mind. Think about when you're trying to teach someone something, you're trying to train a dog or trying to train, a mouse or a grasshopper, or, it's like you have to have patience. You want that student of yours to have an open mind. You want them to empty their cup. You want them to apply your technique and give it a chance. So, be both in the same body, do both of those at the same time, and look at yourself as, how could I teach someone or bequeath the wisdom that I've accumulated, try to have that kind of patience with people, but then also focus on that you're a student as well. Everyone here that's alive, we're all learning. We're just learning in different cycles and different lessons and different times. So that hopefully helps you on Thursday deal with whatever, feelings are coming up. And remember to watch my vlog, How to Heal and Move On, because that tells you step by step very clearly of like what to do with the feelings that are coming up and how to alchemize and how to do shadow work and all of that stuff. So make sure to watch that, but then apply the technique. It's not enough to just watch the vlog, you have to apply the technique. That brings us to Friggs Day. Friggs Day, there we are, September the 2nd. I am calling Friggs Day focus on the long game. Okay, focus on the long game. We have the moon in Scorpio squaring over to Venus in Leo. And then we have Mercury in Libra opposing Jupiter retrograde in the sign of Aries. So that moon, and then the moon's gonna ingress into Sagittarius, but I don't think, that's not till later in the day on Friday. Okay, also on Thursday night, I'm already in Friday, let me just keep to Friday. So on Friday, the moon in Scorpio squaring over to Venus in Leo is kind of funny to me. I already know it, I'm gonna have a good sense of humor about it. And I really recommend having a good sense of humor about all this stuff, not taking any of it too seriously, not taking yourself too seriously. Take your channelings seriously, if you're motivated, if you're curious, if you're attracted, if you're repulsed, because that's how you're gonna, being the awareness behind the awareness is gonna help you grow. But don't forget, this is all a simulation. This is all the Earth school, so I don't know, it's like the stakes are high, but the stakes are not high. I really like moon in Scorpio for comedy. It's raining. I like moon in Scorpio for comedy, but I like dark humor, so. Anyway, moon squaring Venus. So circumstances are fluctuating and they're in conflict with what you want. There's going to be things changing that you're just not comfortable with, and that, that's going to be most of the day too. So that's the last aspect that, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's now coming down. So that's the last aspect that the moon's going to make before they go void. That's why it's going to be like this whole day, you're going to be stewing. You're going to be stewing on it. Maybe even from like Thursday, you might be stewing on stuff from Thursday going into Friday, lasting the most of the day. And take the time you need to process. Take the time, if your roommate is your cousin or your sister or your best friend's little brother, and you know, oh my gosh, it is really coming down. Oh, it looks so pretty though. So that's right. So that's going to last most of the day. You're just not going to feel comfortable. There's going to be some edginess. People are going to be kind of edgy, and don't act on that. Don't, oh, that's what I was saying. So if, you know, if there's someone like around you and everyone's got to be edgy, you know, maybe you've got kids and maybe your kids are teenagers and they're super pissed off and they're just F this and screw you, I hate this and you suck, you know, just give everyone, you know, maybe you have like teenage daughters and they're just like, you know, just let them be, let it be. Let it be. People need space in all of your relationships. Everyone needs space to grow. Everyone needs some wiggle room. Everyone needs some forgiveness. Everyone needs that. So give that to yourself. Give that to everyone around you that you love, okay? Without judgment. Don't be holding things against people, because that, you know, maybe grudges are coming up with that moon in Scorpio this week, you know, maybe people are real, something inflames a grudge that they thought, or something inflames a grudge you thought you let go of, and it is not, it's completely exorcised out of your system. So, I don't know, I just saw something from the south. There's like a Southern Belle thing. I don't know if that's for someone. There's like this, but it's like a gothic southern, I got this gothic Southern Belle thing. I don't know what that is. Maybe that's for someone. Maybe that'll come up in your tarot reading. I don't know, but I have to speak on it because it came up. So where were we? Friday. Oh, that's right. So focus on the long game. You know, you don't want to blow up on your teenage daughter or your teenage, you know, these people that you love in your life. You don't want to, or your team, if you've got like a team and you're working together, maybe you're at your office and people are just acting a whack, you know, or your millennial Gen Z coworkers, like, you know, or like, you know, just like focus on the long game. Is this really worth sabotaging the entire relationship? Is this really worth sabotaging the nice day? You know, is it really, you know, so just think there, and you're going to get help at the end of the day when the moon ingresses into Sagittarius, a little bit but not much, because that's going to help you see the big picture. You're going to be more interested in seeing the big picture, but before then, no, you're just going to be angsty. There's going to be angst. You're going to be frustrated, even with yourself. Even if you're a little bit black and white and you shut someone down, or you spouted off the day before or early that morning and you're just stewing about it, you're mad at yourself because you did that, but then on the other hand you don't regret it because you really wanted to and you were really honest in the moment. Mars and Gemini, really interesting. So this weekend I watched The Social Network. Perfect Mars and Gemini film, by the way. It is free on YouTube, so you guys can like watch like immediately after this horoscope. But you know, think like David Fincher, Aaron Sorkin, like the opening is so good for The Social Network when he's going back and forth with Rooney Mara, and I love it because he talks kind of like ahead of her. So when he's talking, and when she responds, he's already talking about the next thing. So there's a lot of these little, you know, catch-ups and little misspeaks and stuff. So that's really what this Mars and Gemini is going to be more about, and this whole retrograde is going to be like the you know, or writing, or you know, any kind of communicative. Guys, I'm already, so I might wear gloves for the tarot, because I've since the first day of Mars and Gemini, I've been doing psychokinesis and telekinesis practice every day, as well as being like physical every day. But like, I think I might take a break, like not like a long break, but like my hands are actually like, I don't know how to explain the actual feeling. The closest word that I've got is sore. Like they're sore, and I don't know how else to, it's not like, I don't know how else to explain it, but they're kind of sore. So I might, you know, I might wear, we'll see how I feel. So, okay. Moon ingresses into Sagittarius at the end of the day, and it's going to help you focus on the big picture, going to help you see into the future a little bit, where you're like, okay, I'm ready to let it go. But take your time with it, because when you're not ready to let something go and you try to force it, then the moon's going to come to Scorpio and you're going to get your grudge reactivated and you're going to just spout off on it and you're going to be like, okay, I guess I'm not over it, you know? Also on Friday, we have Mercury in Libra opposing Jupiter retrograding in the sign of Aries. So you're picking up from Monday. Think back to Monday when the moon entered Libra and crossed Mercury in that opposition. You're making deals. You are coming back to something, not even just Monday, August the 29th, but you're actually this day on the 2nd of September, you're going to come back to it September the 18th and October the 11th. So journal, write it down, see what's going on in your life, because you're coming back to it. You're going to make some changes, and we talked about that in the Mercury retrograde video. So I'll come back and timestamp it. I will. Yeah. So let's see. Is that it? That's it. All right. That takes us into Saturn Day. Oh, mother of pearl. There we go. Saturn Day. Here we go. Saturn Day, Saturday. We've got, I'm calling it Be Excited on Saturday, September the 3rd. You know, be excited. It's an exciting time to be alive, but don't be foolish. Don't be foolish. We've got the moon in Sagittarius, which is a damn fool of a place. I'm just kidding. But, you know, moon in Sagittarius is going to trine Jupiter retrograding in Aries, going to sextile Mercury in Libra, going to oppose Mars in Gemini. But there's also the quarter moon in Sagittarius. Also, I didn't write it here. Mars will enter the shadow period for their retrograde. So I could totally see this as foolishness that triggers what your Mars retrograde is going to be about. So don't take the bait. Don't go off the deep end. You know, don't push the limits of, I don't know. But okay, so you're going to feel like you need to do something because it's a quarter moon. So you're going to be, that's the crisis in action. So whatever your new moon intention was, whatever your focus was. But here's the thing, and here's why I have a little bit of problem with the word intention. You have the soul's, your natal chart is like your cosmic DNA, okay? And you have things that you're meant to feel and that you're meant to work through that you wanted to address in this lifetime. So, you know, we do the best we can. We do what we can do, but you know, if you're meant to go through something, if you're meant to feel something, then you're going to go through it and you're going to feel it, and it's going to be your karma that you're working out. So this especially this new moon, because this is a very rare new moon at this degree, and in that square to Gemini, this is not really going to happen in this area of your life like this for I think like 28 years or 30 years, or I think it's like 2049 or something. Because the last one was the end of February 1989, if anyone was alive at that point. So, yeah. Okay, so, you know, this quarter moon, I want you to get the most out of it, really. So you can do this quarter moon on the day that Mars enters the shadow. It's either going to be, you're going to see people being super foolish, and they're going to take the wrong action, and then it's going to put them into some new emotional territory that they're going to spend this Mars retrograde until the end of March really working out and thinking differently about. And or you can use this as taking the risk or taking the leap of faith and changing your mind willingly. I would say like taking it's almost like trying something new. That kind of taking a risk, like trying something new, opening your mind to something you'd never considered before, and helping yourself steer how you want to do this Mars retrograde. So it's going to be both. It's going to be for, you know, those of you that are using the astrology to be very conscious and aware of yourself. And you know, like I also started to try to grow this pineapple because I'm super into pineapple right now. I'm like eating so much pineapple and drinking so much pineapple juice. It's like my thing now. I don't know. But I started, it's like you grow it from the top because you twist it off. It's from TikTok. And it's like, so like we'll see if it grows. But that's another little Mars Mars and Gemini thing that I started. But so you can try to open yourself up to something and act on it, commit to it, say yes to it around Saturday or after when the moon's in Sagittarius. But there's also going to be stuff that you signed up for that's going to stimulate that as well. So this is going to be something that you've got to do, you've got to commit to, you've got to take some kind of action to bring your plans further, to continue on with that new moon. So, if things are happening to you and you're less in the active role, that's the soul path that you chose to be on. And then you can also, like with me and my, everyday, Mars and Gemini thing, you can do that, but there's just going to be stuff that you can't, because, for example, so Mars is in Gemini, which is my 12th house of secret sorrow, self-undoing, hotels, ashrams, prisons, anywhere that you go to be very private. It's also writing, it's also screenwriting. And so part of it's very spiritual, though. It's where you're like talking to dead people and you're, spirit mediumship and like all this psychic stuff, right? So that's, I'm trying to pull the energy, and I'm trying to, get really, really great with the psychokinesis and I think I am going to use gloves. Psychokinesis and telekinesis stuff. However, it's manifesting in ways that I didn't exactly choose. So for instance, last night when I was, I'm doing a lot of work on astral planets, and there are astral planets that are in our solar system. You don't see them because they're astral, they're in other higher dimensions, but for instance, there's this astral planet and there's a civilization that's, they're going through a crisis right now. It's crumbling. And I was there and I was helping. And really quick, very specifically, I had this boy with me. He was like maybe up to like here. Like his head came up to like the bottom of my rib cage, so maybe like a little bit lower. And he was terrified and he was clinging onto me. He wrapped his arms like 4 times around me, around my hips and my waist. And he had 2 of his feet standing on my left foot, and he was like just snuggled his face in here and just terrified, like he was gripping me for dear life. And I was helping him, I was taking us across this bridge, which was really wobbly, and I saw like there was shit falling down, like there was all kinds of crises and everything, and I was like pulling him with me, with this boy with me, and I'm so I've got him like soothing him over here with this hand, and this hand's got this like grip on this, and so it was like this whole thing, but I was soothing him, helping him, like it's gonna be okay, like we're gonna, and I got him across the bridge, and the dream moved forward. But it's stuff like that, a lot of apocalypse things happening on other astral planets and other dimensions. And then it's also how I'm trying to do it with the 𝚃𝚘𝚘𝚘, but it's like we do the best we can. But if we're meant to go through something, if we're meant to do stuff, and it's like, so like astrally, I'm teaching, I'm doing a lot of work teaching, and then I'm doing a lot of work helping these other civilizations on other astral dimensions. So, it's like we do what we can do. Okay. Also, I want to talk about Mars entering the shadow for a moment. So Mars is entering the shadow, and they're going to go retrograde. But this particular spot, like this degree, like where they are, we're going to come back to this. I think it's like the end of January 2023. So this is like first pass energy. So the first pass is always going to show us the way things already are now, and maybe you're going to see the glitches. Maybe you're going to start to feel or start to have a different turn of mind, that things are a little bit different, or that things need to change, or what have you. I want you to think back to the end of July 2020. That's when Mars began the shadow for the last retrograde. Then on September 9th of 2020, Mars stationed retrograde. So the first pass for the last Mars retrograde, when they were in the shadow, was the end of July 2020 to September the 9th of 2020. So if you remember, or if you're cared to be interested to go through your camera roll and your emails and all that jazz to see what was going on in your life, the end of July 2020 to September 9th of 2020, that was what you were going to go back on. And then you did. from September 9th of 2020 to November 13th of 2020, Mars was retrograde. So that was you going back and seeing what wasn't working and just really frustrated with things that were not working or not going right. It was like, oh, I don't like this. I don't want to do this. I don't, really like resisting and pulling back and like all this stuff. And then even when Mars gets out of the shadow, or when something gets out of the shadow, I'm never like really trusting. I'm never like really comfortable until the freaking planet leaves the freaking sign. That's just me personally. So the last time Mars retrograded at the end of 2020, they didn't change signs until January 6th, 2021. So you're doing the first pass energy right now. I also want to say I live what I preach. I would rather understand than judge. So I really don't care. So if you're a MAGA person or a Bidener or a Ralph Naderer, or if you hate politics, love politics, like I don't want to say I don't care. I care about you. I'm just saying that I don't hold it against you. I don't judge you. I don't think any more or less of you. I don't think that you're any smarter or any less smarter. I don't think that you're any more or less evolved spiritually. I promise you. I promise. I would rather understand than judge. And that is what I preach in truth, love, and integrity here on, whenever I'm talking, I'm always like that. So, it's like, I want as long as people care to look at themselves and to try to be better, that's what I care about. That's what I care about. Because people that just want to stay broken and leave carnage along the way and just not take responsibility or care that they're hurting people, that, so that's why I love you guys. That's why I have a lot of respect for you guys. That's why it's always like a privilege and an honor to assist that, because it's such a rarity. That's the real rarity. So this first pass energy, Mars is entering shadow until October 30th. I can totally see, just got really loud because the thing went off. I can totally see this, you guys. I'm in my banker's chair and I like freaking love it now. I can totally see this as something happening this weekend that sets off people. Ooh, I didn't lower it enough though. That totally sets people off, that will tell them what this Mercury retrograde is going to be about. What this Mars retrograde is going to be about on Saturday. So for some people, it is going to start Saturday. It's like, oh shit, I need to rethink this. I need to rethink that. I need to go about this differently. But for other people, oh my God, they're going to do something terrible on Halloween, or they're going to really fuck it up on Halloween, that they're really going to maybe get drunk and ruin a friendship, or, just, I don't know, something. So I can totally see self-sabotage Saturday the 3rd, Halloween, and, just, these are just like hot spots. So, anyone in your life, just hopefully you're lucky enough to also have people in your life that care about, not even caring about like astrology, but just care about not hurting you. That's what I want. I want people in your life that care about hurting you, so that they'll make themselves better, that they will try, that they will, so yeah. So Mercury Mars enters the shadow for the retrograde Saturday the 3rd, and then they go retrograde on October the 30th. So these are two dates that, but it's first pass energy. So from September the 3rd to October 30th is your first pass. And that's what you're going to do differently. It's what we're all going to be, like me with this daily physicality, daily TK practice. Maybe that's going to be totally different, or maybe I'm going to totally get rid of it, or maybe I'm going to totally, it's like, we'll see. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe it'll have like some crazy cool breakthrough or something, and it's, but I can feel it. Like I can feel it in my hands. Like, I don't know. I wish I had the better words for it. It really frustrates me as a writer that I don't have better words for it. But it's just like they're sore because maybe I shouldn't do it on the weekends too. I'll probably go back and actually have like a better practice. That's probably what it'll be. Anyway, all right, enough about me. Not about me, it's about the message. Okay, so that's Saturday. You know, be excited, but don't be foolish. If you need help, I'm here. Like, just let me know. It's like a lot on Saturday, I feel. Sunday. So on Sunday, September the 4th, I'm calling it relaxing into it. Sunday's kind of a nice day. I feel like, you know, Saturday could be a great breakthrough where you commit. Let me put it this way. You're not going to be foolish. You're not going to self-sabotage if you try something you've never done before, or if you open up to something you never opened up mentally to before. That's going to be the best. Okay? That's really going to be good for you because this is how it's going anyway. That's how you go with the flow, especially like right now with everything, you know, happening. Also, I haven't really been tracking it well, but this Mars in Gemini is going to activate the eclipse points from 2020 when we had the eclipses in Gemini and Sagittarius. So that was all about like fake news and, you know, alternate, you know, it was all of that stuff. So I have a good sense of humor, so no one's like offending me with any of that stuff. So, you know, Mars is gonna hit on all that stuff. Anyway, Sunday is really nice. I like Sunday. I'm calling it relaxing into it. We have the moon in Sagittarius sextiling Saturn retrograde in the sign of Aquarius, trining over to Venus in Leo. So check this. It's really interesting. The moon in Sagittarius is going to trine Venus in Leo. So we've got this air sign. We've got this fire sign trine between the moon and Venus. And then moon's going to go void. The moon will enter the sign of Capricorn. And that evening, Venus is going to enter Virgo. And they're going to do it again. The moon and Venus are going to form a trine in earth signs. So it's like it's going to continue the party, you know? So, you know, there's some preferable resolutions happening, is what that's telling me. You feel good with the circumstances and how things are wrapping up. So something is definitely wrapping up with this moon Venus trine in the fire signs with Venus in Leo. So I really like that, and I love the connection with Saturn. I'm a Saturn person, so it's like I love that. I absolutely love that. And then there's a huge vibe shift Sunday night with the moon entering Capricorn, trining over to Venus in Virgo. So, you know, when that happens, so by Sunday night, you're in a new territory, something wrapped up, and you're ready to now work it. You're ready to ground it. You're ready to get to work on anything new that you were into, or maybe something over the Saturday, or, you know, over the weekend that you were getting started, or how you were putting the plan together, committing to, and maybe even organizing people in your life and like all of that stuff. You're just ready to ground the ideas down into commitments, into, okay, well, all right, we decided that. Now we're going to get to work on it. Now we're going to bring this home. We're going to bring this to the fruition. We're going to, you know, take it all the way. So I like Sunday night. By the time you end Sunday night on September the 4th, you're probably feeling a lot better. You're probably feeling more grounded. You're probably feeling, you know, practical. It's, you know, the earth and the air signs, it's pretty practical. It's pretty logical, you know. But the earth signs is going to be more like material. So there could be something like a physical, good feeling, really nice. And circumstances are really grounding and really reaffirming, and probably you're just feeling way more secure. Like, all right, I already decided all that, and I don't have to think about it anymore. Like when you are working out and talking to your cemeterian about your pre-needs for the, you know, it was actually a really cool, you know, if I ever get married, I'm definitely going to do this. It was a common practice with newlyweds that they would go shopping for cemetery property together as part of the whole gig. You know, you get married, you go shop for your cemetery property together. Like how you know, I love that. It's like, I love that. I think everyone should do that. I think everyone, if you're married, go do that like right now. Really get it all taken care of, because it's like, till death. You know what I'm saying? I kind of like that part of it. It's very, anyway. It's kind of like this, I kind of like that, like buried, you know? It's got that buried, go ahead and crack your jokes, but you know, it's got this buried groundedness into it, and it's like Venus and Virgo. Like let's take care of the details, take care of what is it within your power to take care of, let the rest go, you know? Yeah, so I like Sunday night, basically. I like Sunday night. Okay, hopefully this isn't like freaking anybody out. But yeah, let's take a look and see what the tarot has for you for this week ahead. Alrighty, it actually does make a little bit of a difference. It actually does. Feels a little bit better. Okay. What message do we have for this week ahead? What kind of guidance do we have for my people? It's a lot on the 4. Ooh, Carnival on HBO. Haven't seen that in a really long time. Okay, that's for somebody. Carnival on HBO. We're starting with the Justice. Love the clarity of this camera. Okay. Okay, so clearly something's out of balance and you're trying to bring it back into balance. Ooh, the Chariot and the 5 of Cups. It's not going to be easy. This is not going to be easy. It really depends on if you can get over it. I don't know if someone can get over it. I don't really feel like it's water under the bridge. It doesn't feel like that. It does not feel like that. You may be discussing something this week, or going through something inside of yourself this week, and you may even be sort of trying to check in with yourself. Like, am I really over it? Can I really forgive this? Is this water under the bridge? How do I feel? Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups. How do you evolve? You do the work through your emotions, through how you're feeling. I've got the Hierophant, the Empress, and the Knight of Wands. I guess we'll stop there. Ooh, it's like I'm getting some heart racing stuff here. Let's see, Page of Cups, the 6 of Pentacles, and the Hermit, bottom of the deck. Someone's keeping a secret. They don't dare talk to anyone about it. They don't dare. They will not. Someone in the situation, they know it would be like a catastrophe at the end of a relationship. They don't trust, you know what, someone can't handle the truth, and you know that. If that's you, keep the secret. There's someone, okay, this feels like someone has a grudge and they're not really over it. somebody else knows that. And that's why they're not being totally 100% honest, because they kind of can't handle it. It's just like maybe too much for the relationship to bear. It's kind of like someone needs more freedom in the relationship. And like this could be, you know, maybe someone that you're working with needs more freedom and maybe they need less hand-holding. Tell me about the justice. Oh! Goodness gracious. 3 of Pentacles. I'm going to take that because we have the 5 of Cups again. I'm not taking these other ones though. I am going to take this one. It fell. This is the one that popped on the floor. It is the Queen of Cups. So you have a couple doubles. You know, this is like, you know, an indiscretion in the marriage that everyone, you thought you were over it, that you thought they were over it, and it's like they weren't, you're not. And honestly, like, the best thing that you can do is be honest with yourself about how you feel. This is, something's weighing real heavy. I can feel it, like real heavy on someone's heart. And I don't know if I don't feel like it's water under the bridge yet. I don't feel like they want to like collaborate or work together, whether it's a marriage or like a company or like a creative thing. Like it just feels, ooh, what happened? What is that? Or what is this grudge or like this? What is this 5 of Cups? Kind of feels like mom issues, to be honest. The Page of Wands and the 9 of Pentacles. So this week, if stuff comes up about the past or from the past, have patience with everybody in the situation. So you know that I'm always on everybody's side. There's, I like this person. I like this 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, I do like this person. They're like kind of aggravating. It's like someone like, you know, like really poking on an insecurity or really poking on something you don't want to think about or something you don't want to deal with. But honestly, it's for the best. Like it's actually helping people become aware of how they really feel or what the truth of the connection really is. And then from there, with the knowledge, you can do whatever you want. You can, like, you know, you can do whatever you want with that kind of a knowledge. You can do whatever you want with that kind of awareness. Because then because you have the free will choice. All right, let's take a look at this Queen of Cups. Oh, it landed right on top of this Queen of Cups too. Oh, the King of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles. All right. So this is clearly, you know, collaborating, working together, marriages, joint ventures. Okay. So This is the long term, the Ten of Pentacles. This looks like there's already some kind of connection, already a commitment. It's either someone is very like, it's either someone's overcoming some baggage in order to align themselves with somebody else, or this is a couple, this is an existing relationship that they're working out baggage from the past. You know, I thought about offering couples telepathy. Instead of calling it couples therapy, I wanted to call it couples telepathy, where I would teach you guys how to develop and practice and use a telepathic connection with your spouse. But that's not something that I want to, like, I don't know. I just, I feel like it gets, there's just like so much baggage. There's already so much baggage, and I'm realizing that me being so idealistic and being a very idealistic person, that's why I don't think that my world predictions are that great, because I will look at astrology and I will go to the highest potential, and I'll go like, oh my God, you know, this is great. Look at what we can do. And I feel like a more pessimistic astrologer is going to be better at predictions, because they're going to know, they're going to connect with that like lowest common denominator, like how it's like more real. I mean, not pessimistic, but like more realistic of like most people, you know, where I'm idealistic. So it's one of my biases. Everyone has cognitive biases, and mine is like super idealistic. So it's like, that's why I don't want to like really, that's why I'm not going to offer it. If you want to learn telepathy, you can learn from me telepathy. It's just, I try to help. I try to, you know, but it's like, it just, I don't know. So, you know, this is a couple, they may first, this might even be like a couple that you work for, or a couple like in your, might be your neighbors, and they're, you know, something like that. So someone in this, now if you're single, like if you're like, oh, I'm not married, I don't ever want to get married, that's cool. This is your baggage. This is your baggage. This is your parents. This is your, you know, your history. It's, you know, it's something like that. So it looks like it's the feminine energy that needs to be like alchemized and transformed, because it's this feminine energy that has some kind of emotional blockage. It's some kind of, I don't know if it's a grudge or if it's just something that they haven't gotten over. There's some kind of dysregulation too with this person because of the emotional baggage. This baggage is actually being stimulated by someone totally not in this situation. This Nine of Pentacles are totally like foreign element, you know. It's being like aggravated. It's bringing this up to the surface. So, you know, you're going to trigger people this week. People are going to be triggered. Like, you're going to be triggered. Everyone, you know, so, all right, let's take a look at this Knight of Wands and this Empress and this, oh shit, Two of Pentacles. Have to take it. Ooh. Okay. Okay, so we have the Two of Pentacles and we have the Chariot, and that connects us over to this. So if you're single, there's a really good opportunity here that, and okay, let me put it this way. If you are yes, single or if you're on your own, there's an opportunity to win big in your profession, professionally, in the career, in the life. Because I feel like for some of you this is love and relationships, and then for some of you this is platonic collaborations. Either way, there's some kind of feminine like blockage, or your feminine energy is like tweaking out, or being like triggered. You know, like maybe it's like mom stuff, or feminine stuff. But if you're in a relationship with someone already, you know, marriage or just some kind of committed partnership or committed relationship, there's some insecurity on behalf of the feminine. And this kind of feels like they really don't know if they could do something. You know, it's like, don't put me in to play the game because I'm not going to take the shot. I don't think I can do the thing. You know, it's kind of like that, where they feel like, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know. They don't know if they have the solution. Or, this is like the Hierophant. There's something kind of, I want to say kind of corrupted with their ideology or with their belief system. And remember, your spirituality, everyone has a spirituality. Spirituality is how you feel based on what you believe. And your beliefs, all of our beliefs, are created by thoughts that we think over and over again. Thoughts we think over and over, and that becomes a belief. And those beliefs tell you how you feel throughout the day, all day, every day. If you're always angry, if you're always pessimistic, if you're always unhappy, if you're always ungrateful, if you're always depressed, if you're always anxious, all of that. So it's like this feminine energy just needs a little bit of like reworking or retooling, or some kind of like reprogramming. In any case, this is a very personal, unique, individual thing to work out. So if you are this Nine of Pentacles or this King of Cups, if you're either the person triggering someone's issues, or if you're in partnership with someone who's triggered, you can't help that. You can support them. But we all have to do our own work. We all have to do it ourselves at the end of the day. It's just how it works. I don't make the rules. There's definitely things that this masculine is keeping from this feminine, but that's only because they don't want to exacerbate the situation. They don't want to. There might be a confidence issue. It's a confidence. They don't want to disrupt confidence in the other person. So they're kind of just letting them grow. So it just looks like a week of insecurity. Gosh, long story short, with a feminine in your life. And I would say the best way to support them is to just give them space and time to work through and process their feelings, and they will reach out, or they will come to you, or they will, so. Yeah, this person just needs to bring themselves back into balance. So this week is just going to be kind of like working through that. And if you're the feminine, you have more power and ability than you think. I think some people will be able to connect. Some of you will be able to really like get over it, whatever this is. But I just don't want to make everyone else feel like you're some failure if you don't get over it this week or something, you know? It's like everyone's in our own timeline. But some of you will. For some of you, this foreign person or element or entity or like whatever is like poking at your wound, for some of you, it's actually going to be motivation. Ooh, that one came right out. Bottom of the deck, the Condor. Hold the highest vision for your life. You now possess the ability to move past any hurdles. So hopefully you guys take that as encouragement. You have everything you need. You do. What's this other one? Blackbird. The magical and unique qualities of your untapped potential are unfolding now. That's exciting. That's cool. The magical and unique qualities of your untapped potential are unfolding now. It's unfolding through your evolving emotions throughout the week. See how you feel and how it's changed. You're gonna be okay. My loves, I will talk to you guys next time. Until then, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads. Mwah.